Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TaskHuman Talks. I'm your host and fellow wellness provider, Jamie Carroll. Today, we have the ever wonderful Timmy Perecz coming to us from Europe, nonetheless. She is a personal trainer, yoga, and Pilates instructor. Thank you so much for joining us, Timmy. I'm so glad to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm glad to be here. And I hope everybody will enjoy the time that they will spend with us.
Yes, me too. Um, so why don't we dive in with how are you helping people and working with clients over the TaskHuman app?
Yes, so first of all, before we get started to work together, I think it's a must to get know the client much better. So I place few questions to them just to know their health condition, their eating habits or sport background. It depends on that what kind of topic they need my help. So, and of course, I would like to know about more about their goals and about their problems, maybe because sometimes they have some problems like, oh, I had an injury here or there, or I have a back pain, so I need a solution for that. So sometimes it's just a precise problem that I need to solve. So if I know all of these, then I can just personalize the program for them, and they can ask me, they can ask help from me in regarding some basic nutritions. And if somebody has thyroid problems like Hashimoto, I can help them in this topic because I am in the same situation. So
Okay.
this type of diets I know, and and of course general informations I can give them regarding the nutritions and the other supplements. And what about the sports? So I do the general personal trainings. I do body conditioning, body shaping classes, of course one to one, and
Yeah.
I do the Pilates, and the yoga is not the hatha yoga what I do, just because uh, many people think of the hatha yoga first, but there are several types of yoga, and my style is a little bit closer to the Ashtanga, so it's a little bit harder than and more powerful than hatha yoga. But if somebody wants me, I can do that type, which is better for relaxation or stretching. So today I even had a client who wanted to stretch a little bit more, and so I can slow down if it's needed. And what else? Oh yeah, the Pilates. So in the topic of Pilates, they can ask me to hold them a class, and also I do mobilization, stabilization, stretching. Um, which is according to the latest knowledge what we have in the market, because in the past we usually made only the static and maybe some dynamic stretches, but now it's a little bit much more, so we use other techniques as well. So that's all I think.
Oh, wow. So you're really working a lot with people with in personal training, getting in shape, body conditioning, Ashtanga yoga. What is Ashtanga yoga for people who don't know?
Yes, so the Ashtanga yoga has so much powerful positions. So, for example, when you see those people who are just making planks and making uh, not just the downward facing dog, then they are holding on their one leg up, for example,
Hmm.
and they do a combination, for example, with a plank and downward facing dog. So we use a lot of planks and a lot of twists, balance exercises, but it's not Ashtanga what I teach, but it's close to that. Um, but what they have to imagine. So it's not that static like the hatha yoga. We just don't get into one position and then hold this asana for ages. We do a little bit more dynamic flow during the whole class. Let's say we start one sequence with a downward facing dog, then we do a cobra position, and from there we go up again to downward facing dog, and then we go up into let's say warrior first position, and then in warrior first we just make some arm workouts, and then we hold the pose at the end of the sequence. So that's how they should imagine that. But as I said, if somebody wants, it can be a little bit more traditional. Just
absolutely, and also stretching and mobility. It sounds like too, which is always good. Yes. One of the things I wanted to ask you is, you said that you can help people who are unsure of where to even start. So yes. If there are, right now, things are a little bit unmotivating for some people. What is a way that people can begin to move if they don't even know what to do? Like where do we start if we're unsure? We want to start moving, we want to start working out, we want to start incorporating that into our life, but we don't know where to begin. What would you say to people out there who are struggling with that?
Yes, so sometimes they know only one thing. They would like to let's say slimmer, or they would like to be in better condition, but they don't really know what kind of movements they need to do in order to get their goals. They just know they need to move something, but they really don't have a clue about what kind of sports exist, what kind of classes, what kind of machines they can use, or etc., etc. So I can continue the row. And in that case, it's very important just talk a little bit about their daily life, their daily habits, and what they did in the past, what they've tried, and if they liked it or not. Because sometimes they just come to me and they say, yeah, once I've been on a yoga class, or once I've been on a Kangu class. I don't know if you have Kangu in the US, but this is jumping shoes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not that big here, if to my knowledge, but
yeah. No, but sometimes they just saying these kind of things to me, or they went on a Zumba class, but they hate it so much. And then if for example, by asking these people about who are they and what are their goals, after a while I can have enough information about that, what is their personality and what fits to them and what not, so what doesn't. So for example, if somebody is a little bit calmer person and goes to a Zumba class, then of course she won't like it so much. On the other hand, we have another person who really loves dancing and really loves to jump around, and she has a much more dynamic personality. For her, aerobic classes or circuit training, or what I mentioned, the Zumba class or spinning can be a really great thing. Or just let's take my case. I don't really can handle that things which are so monotone. For example, running, biking, swimming. So the triathlon is very far from. So I rather go to a dancing class and I just do my cardio there,
Right.
So, but somebody can't handle that kind of monotone things. So I won't suggest them to go into a spinning class as a cardio when we don't. So that's what I meant under that. So I need to know their personality and just suggest them some kind of trainings which can fit to their habit and habits, and also to their personality. But sometimes if somebody would like to lose weight and she's a little bit slower, so maybe the yoga would be nice, but with the yoga she cannot drop off 20 kilos or something, because it doesn't give you that dynamism. So it can makes you nice curves, and it can make make you stronger. But sorry for saying that, but you won't drop off 20 kilos with the yoga or the Pilates. Just makes you stronger and in a better shape, and you will have better curves. But
so what I hear you saying too is like when it comes to like if we want to move but we don't know what to do, it's kind of just about finding something that we enjoy. Do something that you like, not what you don't like, right? Not like, oh, I feel like I need to move, so I'm going to go to a spin class even though I hate it, because that's not going to be sustainable. It's really finding those things that you love and tuning into that.
exactly, that would be my second thought. So I usually suggest to these people who are really lost, I suggest them several classes. Okay, let's go into that and that and that and try all of these. Or if I know there is an injury somewhere in his body, I won't suggest him to go into a, let's say, a CrossFit class, because if he's inner, it's dangerous for him. Sorry.
Right.
So I just don't suggest this. But I suggest another 5-6 things. And then I just always say to them, okay, try everything. And then after you will see if you like it or not. Because if somebody hates what he is doing as a sport, after a while, they will quit. That's 100% sure.
Yeah.
So they don't enjoy that, even let's say 30%, so they're gonna quit. They can force themselves during 1 year even, but after 1 year, it's guaranteed they're gonna stop to do anything, and they just gonna be coach potatoes.
Yeah. And I love how you work with people, Timmy, by figuring out how workouts will fit into their personality and their life. So like I love what you said about like Zumba. If they're like a high energizing, energy person, that might
Yes,
be the workout for them. And I don't think people really think about
yes,
workouts in that sense, like we're just trying to do the things because we feel like that's what we need to do. And to
yeah,
take the spin on it where you're really taking the time to get to know the person, to talk to
yeah.
them, figure out their personality is something that's so unique. So I love that aspect of what you do on the TaskHuman app. I think that's great. Yeah.
Thank
Now
you.
you mentioned habits in there, so I caught that. Are there any habit hacks that you have that you can share with us when it comes to daily life habits? Like anything that we can do to begin
Yes.
to switch up some of our habits?
Yeah, so first of all, I think the basis of the whole thing is sleep enough, and the quality of the sleeping should be uh, just, how can I say, so it have to be enough just to have the time for the body, or to give the time for the body to recover well, because while we are sleeping, we are recovering from let's say from injuries, or just from the effects of the training, or we had a very tough day and we were so stressful, so we can calm down when we are sleeping. And of course the digestion is much this is much more active during the sleeping, so that's why we shouldn't eat 1 hour before sleeping, because it just bothers our sleeping process. And so what I suggest to my clients is sleep at least 7, 8 or 9 hours, because each people have a deep sleep period or cycle during their sleeping period. So it should be at least 2-3 of deep sleep cycle. And it's not this is called the REM period. It's very short. It's very short. So it's the rapid eye movement, as far as I know. Yeah, and that's where we dream about some things or something, or that's where we just processing everything what we had during the day. And if we have only one, or let's say the max is 2 during this sleeping period, this is not enough just to recover, and it's not enough for the detoxification, and it's not enough for the digestion. So if somebody sleeps on long term, let's say 5-6 hours or 4, so less than 7. So it can cause problems. First of all, in the cortisol. So the level of the cortisol is one of the stress hormone, which keeps the inflammation down, regulates the blood pressure, increases the blood sugar. So if you have too much cortisol in the morning, because in the mornings it's always bigger, this level, because it's a stress when you get up from a sleeping position or from this situation, and then if you have generally a high cortisol level, when you get up, it drops your blood sugar as well. So it can cause long-term some problems in the blood sugar. So, or it can cause diabetes, or I don't know, sorry for my pronunciation.
Yeah. I think you got that right.
So, and it controls, the cortisol level controls your sleep and wake cycle.
Yeah.
And boosts energy, so we can handle stress and so on. So if we have stressful life, stressful job, it's inevitable to sleep enough. So I think this is one of the basis of everything, and that's why some people are just wondering on that. Yeah, I'm eating healthy, I'm moving enough, but yes, they don't think of that, how much they drink, water per day, and how much they sleep. And maybe the only problem they have in their life is just not drinking enough and not sleeping enough, or not quality sleeping they have. But if they just wake up for all the barking dogs, then they can have on themselves with some holistic things like teas. Lemongrass tea can be very good, or essential oils like lavender or lemongrass is good as well. So it can help to fall asleep, and taking pills, it's not really a solution.
Yeah, I love it. So sleeping enough, making sure everyone's getting 7 to 9 hours. Because when we're not sleeping, when we don't sleep and we wake up unrested, it also, we crave more carbs and sugars and things like that as well. Probably
Yes.
help with that cortisol. And we want to make sure we're not eating before bedtime, because then we're going to disrupt our digestion during sleep as well. So it sounds like sleep and drinking more water are two of the habit hacks that you really help people with, which I love. And then for all of you out there that have trouble sleeping, using lemongrass tea or an essential oil can help help you feel calm and maybe sleep a little bit better. But
Yes. And
that's
also
really important.
one little trick which can help to everyone to just feel a little bit lighter, if you don't overeat yourself. So we are sitting with our friends and with our families, and we usually overeat ourselves, and we feel like, oh, I would like to sleep, and I feel myself heavy and I can't move and blah blah blah. But if we eat slower, then we will feel that if we are full or not, if we need to take that last piece of cake or something or not. So, and how I could keep my figure a few years ago, and even I lost weight during the holiday season, it was like this. I never ate too much. I always stopped just one bite before I feel myself totally full. And like this, I didn't feel myself heavy. I didn't feel myself sleepy. I could concentrate. I wasn't stressful. I was much more balanced, so we can say that.
Right. Yeah. So don't stuff yourself when you eat food. Eat till you're like, if I have 5 more bites, I'm going to be so full I can't move. Don't overeat.
Yes. Before the last 5 bites,
Yeah. We don't know the exact amount. You'll have to play around with that.
Say that you have to stay hungry, but I'm just saying, you feel that, I'm not full, but I'm not hungry, so stop at that point somewhere.
Okay, I love that too. Yeah, that's great. And we all, speaking of eating, right? We all want to feel better and eat better and do, we want to eat clean is like, the lingo here, at least in the States. Everybody wants to eat clean. And what is one small step that we can take to be eating cleaner or eating healthier, fresh foods?
Yes, so it depends on the health issues of the person. If somebody has like gluten intolerance or has a problem like me, the Hashimoto, or have diabetes. Can you help me to pronounce
Diabetes.
this? Sorry.
Diabetes, yeah.
Sorry for this. And no, anyway, so if somebody has these kind of problems or lactose intolerance, for example, so they have a worse situation than other people who can eat everything. So they have more choices to eat clean. So sometimes eating just vegetables and just let's say more fruits is not enough for them. But what can I say generally is nowadays the quality of the bread is not like what we had 20 years ago. So we have too much preservatives in it, and that's why I try to suggest to everyone to eat less. If you ate, let's say, 2 slices per day, then just reduce it to 1 slices. And after a few weeks, you can reduce it to 1 slice per each every second day. So that's how we can reduce the extra carbohydrates in our meals. It's like nobody talks about that, but the carbohydrates addiction is that kind of addiction, like alcohol, being alcoholic, or let's say smoking too much. But
Right.
it's written everywhere. But if you just think of that, many people are just so crazy they cannot eat chocolate, they cannot eat too much carbohydrates, and they are like I don't know, this figure in the cartoons, this bird who was running in front of the wolf. I just don't
Yeah.
remember. No, so it's like so easy and was shaking and everything. So we have to reduce these wrong carbohydrates proportions, like we are under addiction. So like we are alcoholic or something. So just reducing slowly, slowly, slowly. That's how it can be. I mean, that's how we can quit these wrong habits to eating pasta or pizza too much, or hamburger or bread too much, if we just reducing the portion, sorry. And this is one thing. And the second one, if somebody just totally denying all kind of junk foods and want to eat clean just like that, it's not working on long term, I mean. So if you would like to change your life, then do it with baby steps. So start with one thing. Let's say if you ate too much chocolate, too much sweets, okay, you start with the sweets, and then you just start to reduce the amount. After that, you ate too much pasta, okay, start to reduce the pasta, but not everything together, because after a while they just gonna go crazy, and they will say that, oh, I don't care with this, and I just go back to my old wrong habits. And also it's good to try to do everything by your own, and not buying the half ready or the ready food in the supermarkets or in fast food stores. So if we just prepare our own food, even if it's meat, salad, or it's rice or potato or something, so it's much better, or a soup.
Okay, yeah.
Don't eat in a shop, let's say that.
I love that. So taking baby steps when it comes to your food and reducing, like with the carbohydrates too, there's lots of sugar and processed ingredients in those.
Yes,
So
yes.
understanding that and reducing those like small little steps. One of the things I had heard too was it's great to replace it with something, right? So you like replace it with like a fruit or maybe like
Mhm.
something else that you enjoy just as much, maybe. So
Yeah.
you're not like feeling like you're just taking away, taking away, taking away from your life, that you're still giving yourself
Yes, sorry.
something you enjoy.
You're
Yeah.
right. Exercise because yes, that's what I usually suggest to my clients.
Yes.
So if you it's but let's say you like mango or you like avocado, then you can
Mhm.
replace or you like the dried fruits,
Yeah.
something like so you can replace the jelly babies or the chocolates with these kind of things that you still like. Or we have the nuts, they are healthy and they are tasty, so we can replace the chips and all these kind of snacks with the nuts like walnut, peanut not so much, but the cashews, pistachios, almonds. So we have many options. And
That.
and yeah, I usually suggest them to replace these kind of unhealthy foods with a healthier version.
I love it.
So
And you can use this too without that's not what I mean. You can use this in other areas with other habits. So right with food,
yes.
small little like takeaways, slowly, not all at once, and then
Mhm.
replacing it with something, but also like your thoughts too. Like if you have a negative habit or thought that you want to get rid of, what better thought can you replace it with? So
Yes,
you're filling that in with some sort of replacement. I love
exactly.
that. So what do you think? Okay, I want to move on from the food talk.
Yes.
What do you think prevents us from improving in our lives, either a physical workout or any other area of our life?
Yes, so what I experienced recently, so some of my clients have bad mm, how can I say that? So they have some bad experiences from their family. For example, the family is picking on them all the time and just keep saying that, yeah, you are fat, you shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat that. But on the other hand, they just put so much unhealthy food in front of them, and then they are forcing my clients like eat it because you'd never eat anything. But on the other hand, they are keep on saying that you are fat and you need to lose weight. And if somebody has that kind of bad experience, especially from the family, so sometimes they don't have enough power just to change their lives, and they
Mhm.
need much longer time just to get at that point when they say, okay, now it's enough, and now I don't care what you say, and I just go and do something with my life. But for them it's really hard to change, because on the other hand they just got the information all the time into their head. You cannot do this and you're gonna stay fat for whole life and blah blah blah. It's not nice thing at all, but they do this. So I mean the family. Also, there are some friends or colleagues who can be so um, uh, how can I say that, unpolite,
Yeah.
uh, and just if they get this kind of informations, and of course from the media, from social media and television, you can see informations and see advertisements in which they are just try to influence you and affect on your way of thinking. And
Hmm.
sometimes because of this they don't have enough self-confidence and they don't trust themselves, and they don't think that they have the power to change, so they just rather stay and don't do anything. So sometimes that prevents many people just to change on their life, because they got informations from the opposite
Right.
side. So you cannot do it, you're not able to do it, or just be thankful for that what you have, why you would like to change. And in Hungary, for example, if you would like to just change a job, and dream of something. Let's say I would like to go to Brazil and I don't have enough money. They are like, oh, what do you dream of? It's impossible. You don't have enough money. You don't even speak the language, and it's just stay on your ass and here and go to the Lake Balaton, which is a very big lake in Hungary, and just be thankful what you have in the life, and don't even dare to dream about to change something in your life. So sometimes the circumstances just bringing obstacles in our lives.
Yeah, and the people and family too. I find, and I don't know if you have had this experience with your clients as well, that when people are close to us, sometimes they don't want us to change because then they're going to be responsible for their life and having to change as well.
Yes.
If that makes sense, and then that can make them feel, shameful, whatever feelings they're experiencing for themselves when we try to make changes for ourselves. So just always staying true to yourself, and doing what you know is true for you and being an inspiration to other people around you. And also paying
Mhm.
attention to those people. You may need to get some new friends.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
can be hard though, especially when it's your family.
Yeah, exactly. And just let me tell you a story about that, which belongs to this topic. Um, I used to have a client, and she was really, really um, enthusiastic regarding the fitness, and she was training 4 times per week. She really wanted to lose weight, but unfortunately, she met with a guy who just totally influenced her, and because of this guy, she stopped training at all, and she disappeared without saying anything. But so sometimes these people who are quite clingy, and they would like to grab, their other, I mean, their partner, and just control their lives. So they are a little bit control freaks.
Yeah.
So cannot do anything against that. I mean, as a trainer, so I try to do my best, but I was not enough for that. But
Yeah.
sometimes when we were talking more and more with the clients, I could change their way of thinking, how they are thinking of their bodies and their life, and they could change it. So let's take 2 cases. I had one client, and she never been that slim like now in her life.
Mhm.
So now she's so content, and also she made her husband to move, and now they are doing sports together,
Love it.
and they are healthier, they are in better shape, and of course she has more self-confidence, and now she has more guys coming over and approaching, and but she doesn't need to have these guys around, but they are coming without saying anything, because from outside she so they see her a little bit different, much more confident, and yeah.
Yeah, so to me, I think there's a lesson in this for anybody out there that
Yes.
experiences this with your family, friends, or significant other. Like, it's great to communicate to them, right? This is something that's important to me. I'm on a health journey. I'm on a
Yes.
fitness journey. This is what's important to me. Do you want to do it with me? Do you want to be accountability partners? And really just setting that standard, that expectation for yourself that this is something that's really important to me, and this is what I'm going to be doing in my life. This
Yes.
is who I am, and if you want to, it'd be great if we do it together, and then see how that can really move you forward
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and change you. Yeah, I love that. So I want to ask you, because you're in Hungary, and what's a favorite workout over there? Like, what are the people doing? I know you said the kangaroo jumpy things. What other
This is
workouts?
popular nowadays, but it used to be.
Okay.
uh, and it used to be, I mean, the dance aerobics and all the dancing classes used to be very popular when I started to be started to be a trainer, or I was learning to be a trainer.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I think CrossFit and circuit trainings and functional trainings are the most popular ones.
Okay.
Because during these classes, trainers build a community, and many
Yeah.
people so much stress during their work, and they can release the stress out
Mhm.
during, let's say, CrossFit, and they feel themselves superb, like, yeah, I could do 100, I don't know, push-ups during 1 minute, because it's as many reps as you can. Sometimes they have this rule during the training, and they feel themselves superwoman or superman. But in the workplace or at the family, they are just always getting some negative comments, and they feel a little bit pushed down, so they
Yeah.
just go kind of classes, and they feel like, oh yes, finally something, I am great. And of course there are other people who think that too, so that's how they start to be friends, and they go together somewhere, and even if it's a party or just drinking or eating a dinner together, so they are building community in these kind of classes.
I love that. And that's so, I think that like community is a word, a theme word that's coming up. And I think it's probably all over the world right now. Like finding your community, standing with your community. I think that that is something that is just a common theme for everyone, no matter where you are in the world. So I love that you just shared that. That was awesome. And I want to know before we wrap up, what is your own self care routine? Like, how do you take care of yourself, your mind, your body, your soul? What are some ways you do that?
Yes, so maybe it sounds funny, but dancing helps me a lot when
Mm.
I'm down. So I didn't share with you till now, but now I will. So I'm a professional samba dancer as well,
Oh,
and
I love it.
and how I started to get into fitness, it was a belly dance teacher course. So I passed, I think in 2008 or 2009, the Oriental or belly dance teacher school exam, sorry. And but I figured out it's not really my style. So just dancing or performing is what
Love
fits
it.
to my the most. So you see now again, I tried to do a belly dance teacher, but I realized that it doesn't fit to my personality because I
Mm.
didn't feel myself comfortable. I was like, yeah, it's good thing, and I see they are improving, and I'm happy, but I feel myself somebody's holding me up. So,
Mm.
and I, be myself and do what I would like to. So sometimes I just need dancing, and then I can release all my stress. And this helped me most. But now we don't have anywhere to go, so
I
I just
know.
dance in my living room, or even sometimes my body wants yoga. If I feel a little bit down or upset or innervated, so yoga can help me. And on these days I cannot do the dynamic version. So I just do that classical style because that's what my body likes. And there are some days when I feel myself, yeah, I'm so powerful and have so much energy, so I just go into the gym and I just pumping up the muscles. So I try to do those kind of movements which fits to my mood the best.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be different every day.
Mm-hmm.
So if mood is different every day, then I do different things.
I love
But I
that.
try, but I try to move at least 5 times per week. Sometimes it's more if I have more classes, or nowadays since I don't have classes online from the beginning of December,
Mm-hmm.
just at TaskHuman I have, but I don't have fixed scheduled classes. I move a little bit less, but I really feel the effect. So 5 times per week, I really need to force myself to move, because otherwise I just gonna have a back pain, I gonna have knee pain, and so on and so on. And of course, I'm more stressful if I don't move. So that's what I suggest to the other people. So try to do something, even if you just go for rollerblading somewhere for a half an hour. Today I went to the supermarket with my rollerblades
I
just
love
to be,
it.
outside and do something, because I didn't feel like to do some sports inside in the room. I wanted to go out. So what should I do? Since I don't like running, so rollerblading is one option.
I
So try
love that.
to find, the solution all the time. And of course, when I feel stressful, I like just sit in the bath and just relax there with some candles and the classical
Yeah.
uh, beauty things. And it's also good when you had a very hard training,
Yeah.
because it helps your muscles just to relax and regenerate.
I love that. And I love that you just said try to find the solution or the time. Just
Yes,
do something. Just get a little bit of movement in throughout the day, even if it's dancing in your living room for a couple songs.
yes,
But, okay.
exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
did yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. And if I ate, sometimes of course I eat some junk food as well.
Yes.
So if I ate some junk food, on the next day I will eat salad. So I try to balance, keep in balance
Yeah.
my nutrition. So, and also every day I take my supplements like the magnesium and the B complex, or calcium and zinc, D3, and vitamin C, and etc. etc.
Mhm.
So because if I cannot eat so much fruits and so much vegetables that I planned to eat, at least I take these in some pills.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I love all of this. Thank you, Timmy, for sharing everything. And is there anything else before we close out that you want to share with everyone?
Mhm. I think one thing, just as I mentioned previously, don't overeat yourself, and try to walk daily, even if it's 20 minutes, or even if you walk just a little bit more from your parking place to your mom's house, just
Hmm.
park a little farther from her house. At least you can force yourself just to walk a little bit, and it won't be so hard to get back to the healthier daily routines.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Timmy, for sharing everything. For anyone out there that is looking for a personal trainer, for a yoga instructor, they need accountability, or you need someone to really push you and help you with your habits as well, make sure you reach out to Timmy on our app, on our TaskHuman app. And yeah, that's it for today's session. Thank you again.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next episode.